Hi there. You're about to enjoy the Chronicles of Tom and Jamie.
Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Mann.
Hi guys, my name's Annabelle Knight.
Hello, this is Becky Baldwin.
Hello, I'm Chesney.
Hey, what's up everyone? This is Braden from Say We Can Fly.
Hi, I'm Callum.
Hi, I'm Lucy, and we are That Gym Couple podcast.
We are online coaches and fitness enthusiasts, foodies, everything in between you could possibly think of.
Just trying to help you become the best possible version of yourself.
You are listening to or watching the Chronicles of Podcast, hosted by Tom and Jamie. Hope you enjoy.
Starring Lucy and Callum.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 115th edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. It is I, the bearded brummy Jamie, and joining me this week, as always, it's this handsome man right here.
It's the Scotsman Tom, and welcome to the Chronicles of That Gym Couple. Hit it! And then we're just going to bombard the living fuck out of you. How does that sound?
Sounds
great. Fantastic.
Jinx.
That's what we like. Now
Can't
you can't talk for the whole interview.
For the whole
You
thing.
jinxed it. Why?
That was my plan all along. It's all about me.
That's a sign language, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. My treachings are going to be really good in sign language, aren't they?
Oh, right, let's get
What a
this
deaf
into
person
it.
like. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, please continue.
Intro, right. Ladies and gentlemen, today we bring you our first guests of 2024. A lot of people enter the new year with plans of working on themselves and starting their fitness journey. So with that in mind, today's guests are personal trainers and fitness enthusiasts who are here today to not only teach us a bit more about fitness, but also show you why they are that gym couple. This week we are joined by Lucy Chewins and a man you know well, the master of the treachings, Callum Treacher. Boys and girls, put your hands together as we bring you the hosts of That Gym Couple podcast, and join us as we bring you the chronicles of That Gym Couple.
Yeah,
it.
always.
We need to get better at our intros. Wow.
Hosted by Lucy, starring Callum. I love it. What's wrong with? There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
I think you've stopped saying that now, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I
actually?
got told off you too many times. So
Yeah. We need
It's
some more
great.
practice.
What's wrong with starring, though? What's wrong with starring?
you
Well,
host, I star. Like,
no,
I'm the
I
main
don't
attraction,
host.
obviously.
No, because I felt like that kind of sounded like it was my thing, and he was just like this part on the side, which is obviously not. It's our thing that we do together. So
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
I think you're first couple on, I think. Just
Really?
throw that out. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
no pressure.
So none, absolutely none whatsoever. There's loads, by the way. There's absolutely none whatsoever. But in all seriousness though, how you both doing? How's your day been?
Yeah, good. I mean, it's January, so I'm back at work, and Lucy's back at work, and it's our busy period. You know, it's the time when everyone wants to get back into their better selves, I guess you could call it. But it's actually been relatively quiet this January so
Really?
far. So
Really?
yeah,
I think everyone in Cheltenham, because that's where we live, are just, I don't know, just gone so hard. Everyone's just a bit hungover. I haven't seen anyone in the gym for days.
yeah.
Whereas we went straight back,
yeah.
and there's just not really been anyone there. But for me, it's been very, very busy because I'm a full-time online coach. So yeah, it's a very busy week. Lots of calls, inquiries, signing up new clients, which is very exciting. It's just, yeah, it's busy, but good busy.
That's what you want,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think Jamie will probably know because the kids are still off school. I assume
Yeah, they are.
yours are still off. So a lot of the parents have still got the kids, so they haven't got the time to come in and train as much as they probably would like to in January. So we'll see how it goes next week when the kids go back and everyone's back into a bit of a routine. But
Next
It normally
Tuesday,
is
once the
very
doors
busy.
are open.
yeah. Conveniently, I've booked holiday.
But guys, take us back to the start for you. I always like to ask this question. What did young Master Treacher and young Miss Chewins wish to be when you were growing up? And has it always been
Ooh.
fitness and interested in
No.
sport?
I mean, I've always had an interest in sport, but I honestly, I was that kid who I had no idea what I wanted to do when I grew up. I was just doing what I
I
enjoyed,
think
you know.
still don't know.
No,
do
I
you?
still don't really know what I want to do when I grow up.
Same.
Before I went to university, I wanted to go and do film and media production, and I had a year out. Didn't get my first choice that I wanted to go to. Had a year out. Ended up going off to do a sports degree instead. So that kind of kickstarted it, which was a bit random.
Yeah, why? That's quite a jump. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I want to do film and media. Oh, I didn't get in. Never mind. So sports, you say? Okay, yeah. Well, let's discuss.
Well, you were playing rugby, weren't you?
Yeah, I was actually in the year off after sixth form. I was coaching rugby to young children, and that was the sort of route I went down. I really enjoyed it, so I thought, why not try and make a career of this, I guess. And that didn't pan out, so I went to work in a gym instead.
Remember when we first met, actually, you were very much like, I don't really know what I want to do, to be honest, but you enjoy what you do now, don't you? Yeah,
I do. I enjoy, you see so many wins in the gym day to day, and ultimately that is why we do what we do. It's good it feels good to help people.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the first kind of time I can remember having an inkling of what I wanted to do, I don't know where it came from, but actually, no, I do. For some reason, would you agree? I've got quite a good talent with like massaging people. That sounds a bit weird, but I don't know what it was, but I grew up with my dad always having a really bad back. There is an end to this story, but
okay.
And then I had a really bad back growing up. So I got really interested in sort of physio, chiropractic, osteopath, that sort of thing. So that was very much something I thought I was going to do. And then I realized I was crap at biology, so I didn't do that. And then I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I wanted to go to uni. So I decided to just do psychology because I think it's very interesting. So I went and did psychology in Bath, and I loved it. And then after that, again, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I did always love sport at school, did GCSE PE and was always doing something, but never in a million years thought I'd be doing what I'm doing now. I just if you want me to go into it, I just stumbled into it, and yeah, okay.
Lucy actually, she sorry.
Hello.
I just had a load of spit in my mouth.
What's going on?
Don't really know what happened there. It just kind of like came up, and I was like, I'm gonna have to swallow this.
What are you going to say about me?
It was almost like he's like, Lucy, I've completely forgotten everything about my partner.
Actually,
shit.
Yeah. my brain's gone completely blank.
That's probably less gross.
Can we get back to the podcast?
We've only just eaten dinner, so I'm going to go with that. That's what's happened there. We've just eaten, so yeah.
Are you all right? Yeah.
I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll keep going.
Okay.
I was going to say you got into it in a really interesting time. Unusual way, an interesting time.
Yeah, it's true actually. It probably is quite unusual how I got into what I'm doing compared to how I would say probably most people get into it, let's say. So yeah, after I graduated, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I ended up getting a job at a startup company. It was a non-alcoholic drinks company, so completely random. I really struggled to find a job after uni. I didn't think it would be so hard, but it was. Anyway, I ended up getting this job, and it was kind of doing a bit of sales, a bit of events, bit of this, bit of that. Never saw myself doing it long term, but I was just sort of doing it. And then the minute we went into lockdown, that April 2020, I could no longer do the job I was doing. I couldn't go to bars and try and sell this drink. I couldn't do all the events got cancelled. So essentially the founder just made me redundant. She literally was just like, bye, basically. No sort of furlough or anything. It was just like, I need to make you redundant. So that my first ever job out of uni, I did for about 7 months and then just got made redundant. And I was like, great, I'm back to square one again. I don't know what I want to do with my life. Yeah, it was a pretty scary time. And then I was literally like, we had the whole summer ahead. No one was hiring. We were in this really weird pandemic lockdown situation. So I just thought, well, to be honest, I love the gym. I'd be quite interested to have a personal training qualification just for myself, to be honest. So I thought I'll just fill my time with that. I'm not really someone that can just sit around and do nothing. So yeah, I just decided to do the qualification over that summer, did it all from home. And then once I qualified, this girl reached out to me. She was looking for a coach to join her because she had just gone online and had so many clients, she needed support. So I came on as a coach and worked with her for about 8 or 9 months, and then decided to launch my own online coaching business. So that's how it happened.
So quickly, for those who don't know what online coaching is, it's kind of like personal training, but without the one-to-one aspect. So you can do it remotely from anywhere in the world. You've got quite a lot of clients in the States and
all over the world. Yeah.
Yeah, all over the world, really. And it's a way for them, obviously, to stay accountable with their goals and try and achieve their goals or whatever they set out to achieve without having to have the one-to-one sessions in person in a gym.
But they also get not just, because I think personal training is really, really great, but you just get that session, that 45-minute session in the gym, and then you're kind of sent on your way. And as we know, it's not just the training that gets you your results. It's your nutrition, it's your daily habits, it's sleep, it's stress, it's everything. So online coaching, or I can only speak for my own online coaching, looks at every aspect of your life and kind of helps you in every way. And it's all on an app. So they have the app, they download the app, I design all their programs. It's very tailored, personalized. And yeah, that's sort of how it works. But it was an unusual way to get into it, because most people, and online coaching has definitely grown, and it's growing and growing, and it's quite big now, but most people start on the gym floor as a personal trainer and work their way up to the number of clients they need to be able to leave the gym and then go fully online. And I just was lucky enough. I say lucky enough just because it was never my goal to work on the gym floor. That wasn't why I did that qualification. I just stumbled into this online coaching role and then always wanted to work for myself and saw that as the perfect avenue to then go and do that. And here we are 3 years later. So it worked out pretty well.
That's amazing. It's almost like it was meant to be, sort of thing. Like, oh, we're not selling drinks more. Fuck off. Okay, no worries. That's fine.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go run a business where I'm making decent amount of money myself, and I'm my own boss, and yeah.
Good luck with them drinks. Good luck with them drinks. Yeah. See you later.
What were those drinks called again? Never mind.
I know. It was one way to turn a bad situation into something good. I mean, I didn't expect it to turn into what it has turned into, but yeah, I'm very, very, I'm not like, oh, it's fate, but I do believe everything happens for a reason. So I feel, even though that was a really scary moment to just be made redundant, that wasn't what I was meant to be doing. And sometimes I think, oh my God, what would I be doing if that hadn't have happened? Would I still be working there? I was going to London till midnight some nights and then coming back, and I was traveling literally to different cities every day trying to sell this drink. I had no experience. Like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Was the drink any good?
Yeah, it was actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was, but it was like I got into it in a moment where non-alcoholic spirits were very, very new. And I think there was only like one on the market or a couple on the market at the time. And I had no experience. And people were like, I was walking into bars and people were like, why the hell would I want to buy like a non-alcoholic gin? So it was really difficult. So yeah, I think I don't know what on earth I'd be doing now if that hadn't have happened. It's quite a scary thought, actually.
I don't even have to think about it anymore, because it's obviously it's all good. But I'm pleased you actually explained what online coaching was, because for some reason in my head, I went back to like 90s aerobics, where they all had those leotards. I was like, 1, 2, and 3. But,
that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, it's
Callum
not.
wears the leotards.
That's how I run mine. Anyway.
Black one, like leotard thing, all the triangles all over it, all different colours. Yeah, wonderful.
All my hair in a big perm.
Yeah. Or just rollers in.
I am. Yeah, the leg warmers and everything, and
the fluorescent colours.
Amazing. Absolutely.
No, luckily I don't have to do that. And that is actually, that's always a question. Whenever I move into a new apartment, and I've moved a lot, they always say, oh, are you going to be making a lot of noise? Are you going to be jumping around? Is that going to disturb other tenants? And no, I literally could sit in my pajamas and do it. all I have is my laptop, and I'm just like this. Like, it's got nothing. I
mean,
I don't move
it's
around.
nice that they ask, but they don't vet anyone else. Like, your upstairs neighbor here, he decides to get his Hoover out at 10:30.
Later
start
than that.
vacuuming like random, like, you know, upstairs neighbors do. They should vet all upstairs neighbors from now on. That should just be a thing.
Yeah.
Like, what are your weird habits, and why do you do them when you do them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a top floor guy.
Yeah, you're one of them.
I think I'm how tall I am. I think I'm quite heavy footed. So probably it's like, I don't know, sounds like fucking Godzilla's up here or something.
But for such a small girl, she is like, she'll just be boom, 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 all the way across the flat. And I'm like, Lucy.
He just gives me this look, and I'm like, oh, sorry. And then I just start tiptoeing. Yeah, you just don't realize. But there is a time and a place to do things like hoovering, not like midnight.
Oh, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That is.
Oh, it does it. Yeah, it's weird. You know, her bedroom window is right by the sort of the, not right by, sounds horrendous, but it's near the sort of recycling bins and stuff. So a couple of floors up, but they're just outside. And at like 12 o'clock at night, you'll just hear like a few glass jars going into the recycling. And he's just there
throwing
this recycling in it. You're like, what the hell are you doing?
What, from the top floor?
Yeah, all the way from the top. No, he's gone down.
So he takes the recycling down. He just, like, it's not like he places them in because it's midnight. He's just throwing them in. Anyway, he might listen to this, so we should probably talk about something else.
He's going to get a knock on the door.
Yeah.
I heard you talk about me.
Well, it's probably a good thing, but Lucy was going to go up and talk to him about 12 o'clock at night the other week. And I was like, maybe just wait till the morning.
You're like, just sleep on it.
Just start being that broom person, start smacking the fucking ceiling.
Yeah.
Mind you, I
Yeah.
would. Like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck off.
You won't hear over his Hoover.
Yeah.
But I was looking at your profiles and stuff earlier, Lucy, and I apologise if it's a bit too personal. Tell me to piss off if it is. But I noticed in all your bios, it said, like, you want to help women ditch fad diets and learn to love themselves inside and out. Where did this come from, you wanted to aim at? Is this something you've dealt with yourself and wanted to help others get past it? Or is this just something you wanted to focus on?
Yeah, no, it definitely is. My approach is very much about helping people create a lifestyle and not just fall into not just doing another diet, because a lot of the women I speak to have tried every diet under the sun, you know, keto, fasting, Slimming World, Weight Watchers. They've done everything and none of it works because it's not sustainable for them. It's too restrictive and it creates a bad relationship with food and with just all of it. So I try and bring them away from that and actually just focus on having a very balanced life and being able to go out and enjoy the odd meal out with friends or drinks or whatever it is, and know that that's not the end of the world. Know that the next day it's just back to normal plans. So that's the kind of overarching approach. But the kind of self-love thing sort of came when we call the community the self-love club, because, you know, without being too soppy, I definitely struggled with that myself. And I do come across very confident, and I am confident, but I am actually quite self-conscious and I'm quite insecure about certain things. And when I was younger, I didn't really see my own worth, or didn't think I was, I don't know, I just didn't really like myself, I guess. And the gym and getting in, just taking my own health and fitness more seriously, like massively, it's changed me as a person completely. I'm so much more confident, and I do feel like I love myself more inside and out, and I want to help other people do that as well if I can. So it's about sort of showing that taking control of your life and getting into the gym and lifting weights doesn't just have to be to change how you look physically. Yeah, that's great, and that's all part of it. But the feeling it gives you, how empowered it can make you feel, and being strong and confident, it changes every aspect of your life, not just how you look. It can change how your relationships are, how your friendships are, how you show up at work. And yeah, I want to help people do that. I hope that answers that.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I think that's one side of it people don't understand. You guys, obviously, you're coaching people, not just to, you know, build muscle, lose weight, whatever it may be, but there's a mental health side of it as well, to make people feel better about themselves and all that sort of stuff. Were you prepared for that?
I think it just comes with most people who get into the gym have had some sort of I guess, some sort of mental health problems. Most people really have had some sort of mental health problems, and I know for my standpoint, I see a lot of people who find that vice in the gym and in fitness and in health to make themselves feel better about themselves or about their situation, whatever it is. So it's interesting. I don't think I ever really got into it necessarily for that reason. I got into the industry because it was something I enjoyed personally. I just figured, why wouldn't I want to go and work somewhere that I love? You know, I really love the environment. I want to just be there. So, but you do see it more and more each day. I mean, you deal with probably a lot more mental health issues one-to-one personally, than I necessarily would at this stage. But they're always there.
Yeah,
there's always something. There's always someone who has some sort of issue, and you don't necessarily see it. That's obviously the issue with mental health, isn't it? It's quite a hidden problem a lot of the time. But
it's just taking the gym as the example. It's a very kind of personal journey that you go on. Jinx. As much as it's quite personal. Like, everyone is there for, and this is what I always say to my clients, like, we all have our why. You need to have a why, because it's not easy. Losing weight, building muscle, whatever it is you're trying to achieve, it's not easy. Otherwise we would all be walking around with six packs and we would be just feeling incredible, but we're not.
The amount of times that I hear people come into the gym, they're like, oh, I don't want to get too big. I'm like, honestly, if it was that easy, I would be ginormous right now. Like, it's not that easy.
Yeah.
It takes years and years and years of training. Yeah. And they just, because they think that, you know, if I'm going to, but if I
lift a weight.
It's a lot of women, like, typically they'll be like, but if I lift weights, I'm going to get bulky and I'll get really big and musty. I'm like, no, not straight away. But there's a lot you need to do.
Yeah, there is. And yeah, so my point is that everyone's got their reason why they're doing it, whether it is just an aesthetic goal, whether it is just to relieve some stress, I don't know, everyone's got their reason why. And that's what keeps you going back. It's not because you wake up every morning and you're motivated to get into the gym and do your workout or whatever it is, whatever habit you're trying to build. You will wake up some days and it'll be the last thing in the world you want to do. But if you have that reason why you're doing it, and that's very personal, like yours is different to mine, like everyone's is different, that's what needs to get you there. And for me, the gym literally is therapy. Like, if I don't go for a few days, I just feel myself getting bit more irritable and like I just impatient, and I just don't feel myself. It's like a time to put my headphones in. It's actually a very social place, but to go and just switch off from everything. And obviously scientifically it literally releases feel-good hormones. It does boost your mood and reduce stress, so there's that as well. But yeah, I think mental health is a massive part of it, and that is why I did really try to incorporate that, and I do try to in my coaching as well. And that sort of loops back into my psychology degree as well. You know, the brain, people, the way we think, the way we work, why we do the things we do. That's a really big part of it. And I think people don't expect that maybe from an online coach, but I think it's really important to have that.
I love the idea that you said about mainly women going in thinking that they do weights to get massive. I love the idea of Audrey going in, picking up a dumbbell, and, you know, it's like inflation as soon as she moves, like, that's just like huge guns on. I love
like
that.
Popeye with his spinach.
yeah.
I wish it was that easy.
Yeah, I do wish it was that easy. You know, drink your protein shake and then suddenly you look like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. But
then a lot of that does come back to like people don't fully know, they don't understand, they don't have the knowledge.
Like see, and I think that's part of the issue, isn't it? You see so many fitness influencers now. I mean, I don't know about everyone else, but my social media is riddled with it. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit more because I am in the industry, so a lot of the content I post is very similar. But there's so much misinformation out there. Still, and people are selling things. It's snake oil, like salesmen. Essentially, a lot of it is, you know, the products they're selling, the things they're trying to do, the fad diets, they're still all there. They're just been repackaged under something else that people are like, oh, this looks good. This has gone viral. let's do this, or let's take this supplement needs to be must be good because everyone else is taking it. Well, they've been paid to take it. That's why they're taking it.
And that's why these things not like the results that you get from these things don't typically last, because the person doing it typically isn't gaining any knowledge. They're just doing what they're being told to do. It's normally a very one size fits all generic sort of plan that's been given to thousands of people. There's no sort of element of how is this actually going to fit into your lifestyle. I've got clients, I've got uni students, I've got mums, I've got doctors, nurses, people doing all sorts of different jobs, and there's no way the same thing's going to work for everyone. So my job is to sort of go, right, how's your week looking? Like, how are we going to fit this in, and actually explain to them, if I make an adjustment to their plans, for example, why I've done it, so that they're actually learning. The goal is ultimately to get them to be able to do this confidently on their own. And as I said, make it a lifestyle, make it last. So those kind of diets that don't teach you anything, that's why they never last, because you don't know you finish it. You might have got some results, but you finish it and then you go, right, what do I do now? How do I actually live a life without that? So that's what I'm trying to do. That's what we're both trying to do.
Yeah. Essentially, we're trying to make our jobs obsolete.
Yeah, basically. So they don't need us at all.
I think the whole working out, the whole gym sort of thing has become prominent in the last 10 to 15 years. I don't remember back in the early 2000s or mid 2000s that people going to the gym all the time and talking about it. Do you think social media's had a massive impact on that sort of thing, especially we say with all the misinformation out there now as well? It's oh yeah, I took this carrot pill and now look at the size of my quads. Oh my god, that. It's just
you
there's so much.
Don't start talking about my quads, because James asked you to get a watermelon out or something.
Yeah, it gets creepy, it gets weird. Yeah,
I may have made a note of that somewhere down the line. I'm just saying. No, I'm joking.
Well,
don't want to know.
Here's one I prepared earlier.
The day is finally here.
Essentially, just quickly, sorry, just to quickly jump on this quick. Essentially, Jamie's got a really weird obsession with Callum crushing a watermelon between his quads. I have no idea why. I always question why he asks this all the time. It's come about 5 times, I think. He brings it up a lot. So
I've never tried, but
I reckon he could.
The muscles that
Lucy's on my side.
That's more your abductor muscles.
Yeah, the muscles that you kind of need to do that movement. Mine aren't very strong.
I was going to say maybe if you lied on it on the side, but anyone could.
Or just lie on it. Yeah, I could lie on it.
This has gone weird.
Yeah. Sorry.
I just like the fact that Lucy's supporting me here. She's like, "Come on, we can make it work. Come on, we can do this."
I'm interested in this. I mean,
the way when you said that, Tom, the way she looked at me, there was a bit of
inquisitive.
I wonder.
Maybe we could try different fruits and see.
Yeah, we'll start with a satsuma.
Yeah.
They
are massive.
Found a niche.
Yeah, there we go.
I get this feeling you're just going to send us a picture in a few days of a wall covered in fruit juice going, what have you fucking done?
Lovely smoothie, this. Lovely. Bloody delicious, this.
Maybe that could make us TikTok famous. You just squeezing.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Yeah. Yes! Go viral on TikTok.
Just put a cup underneath and you just squeeze the juice out.
Oh. Do you know what the problem is? That's probably already a thing, isn't it?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. That's a juice you can try and sell, Lucy.
Everything's
a drink you could try
and sell. If you can think it.
Yeah.
If you think it, it's a thing.
Maybe OnlyFans, that might be something.
Oh, it'll be a thing on there. I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will.
Who knows?
Anyway,
moving swiftly on.
So sorry. Yeah. Just going back quickly to the mental health conversation as well. I bet it feels fucking unbelievable when you see people who have started with you get to the end, or get to a point where they're happy, or get to a point where they're like, "You've changed my life." It must be an unreal feeling.
Yeah, I think. Because you do see it so much, and you obviously chat to these people daily, and it's it just becomes a sort of a part of your life, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And obviously you feel the satisfaction, and you feel so grateful, especially if you get a testimonial from a client, or someone comes up to you and personally, or they message you and they say, "Hey, look, you've helped me do this," or you get a check-in. So each week they get an opportunity to check in with their coach and have a sort of reflection on their week. themselves. And a lot of the times you'll get messages in there being like, I was able to do this for the first time, or I haven't been able to fit into these clothes for a couple of years, and I tried them on and they fit. And it does make you feel it makes you feel great in that moment.
Then you're over it.
But then
that's what I'm saying.
Then you're on to the next one, so it doesn't matter, does it? No, obviously not. Like you feel like, of course you feel great.
You do.
Feeling like you've helped someone.
And I think you just hope that it lasts, because you're not in their life.
But then what I was going to say, that then you go on to the next client and they're having the complete opposite feeling. They're like, I'm really struggling. I'm dealing with this. I'm dealing with that. So you get both sides of it all the time, I think.
And it's obviously it's a joint effort at the end of the day. It's we give 100%, but the client has to give 100% as well.
They're the ones doing all the work, really. We're guiding them.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. I can give you all the tools in the world. Thank you. Fountain of knowledge. You can say, you can give them all these tools, but whether they actually go and do it is a different story, and whether they stick to it. But I have had some honestly amazing moments, and just one particular client that comes to mind. We're actually like really good friends now because we've like just worked together so long, and she's got 2 kids, and it genuinely completely changed her life. It's changed a lot of clients' lives, but her in particular, she just always springs to mind because she actually did a photo shoot with me last April, something she never in a million years thought she would ever do, like a fitness photo shoot in her gym stuff, clothes off, well, clothes on, but wearing, tanned up. We put baby oil on, really got her in it. And she absolutely loved it. And she looked insane. And that changed her life forever. Fitness will never not be a part of her life now. She wanted to be a good role model to her kids. She didn't want them to see her having this bad relationship with food, or always being on a diet, or being restrictive. She knew that subconsciously they were watching and picking up her habits as well, so it massively changed that as well. And it's the most rewarding thing. And another example just quickly that springs to mind from this week is one of my clients lost her period for years. She can't remember the last time she had it because she was struggling with a eating disorder. And she got it back, and she's since working with me. She's had a period for 5 months, so not all one, but each month.
That'd be awful. Jesus,
make it stop. But it's little things like, I mean, that's not even a little thing. That's a huge thing. But it's just those things that you don't necessarily think about that happen in these. That's like changed her life. She's so happy, and it's moments like that, and you just think, wow, we really are making a difference. And I think we're quite modest about it. We kind of just I think that's what you were trying to say.
You see it all the time. I guess you don't really, and it's so hard for us to take any credit for what they've done. Like it's 100%. They're the ones turning up week in, week out, putting all the work in. We are just sort of holding their hand through the process, but it's all them. Like it's very, but without that initial push, they probably wouldn't have got there on their own. And I think that's where potentially we can probably pat ourselves on the back a little bit, but it's really hard to do so, isn't it?
I'm quite bad at that, aren't I? I'm not very, I would never kind of sit and be like, oh, I'm changing people's lives, I'm amazing. It's lovely to hear, but then you're just sort of like, oh, that's really nice. And then as you say, there's someone else with another problem, so you go and deal with that. But when you have situations like this, when you remember those moments, it is really nice.
I didn't mean you sit there arrogantly boasting about all these. You never guess what I didn't say.
Tally on the wall. Another one.
Our halos.
Change their life.
It's glow gold when you walk around.
It's walking in the gym. Changed his life. Changed his life. Changed their life. I think it is very important. Like, speaking from myself, like, I lost a shit ton of weight a while back. And if people I know turn around to me and be like, oh, well done, I'd just be like, yeah, you're just saying that because you know me. But if someone say, I'm obviously not strangers with these people, but you're not personal, close friends, family, turn around to me and went, you've done amazing. That would actually feel more to me, if that makes sense. Like someone who doesn't really care about my feelings is telling me I've done a good job. So
especially if they've gone out their way to come up to you and say, hey, I've noticed this. You look great. How good does that make you feel? They don't have to do that.
Yeah, it's because a lot of people will kind of say, oh, my family say I don't need to do this, or I'm fine as I am, or whatever. And it's like, but I know that they're just saying that because they love me. And that is great. But also, if you're not happy with how you look or feel in yourself, you have every right to change it and do something about it. And when people do start noticing those changes, sometimes it feels even better than you noticing it in yourself.
Yeah.
Because you don't really know. I think that's another like misconception that people struggle with is you go to the gym once, you come home, you look in the mirror and you don't look any different, because it takes weeks, months, years to see results. And it's being able to, that's when that kind of having your reason why you're doing this comes back to be so important, because it doesn't happen that quickly. You really have to be okay with delayed gratification, and that's the journey that you go on. And if you're okay with that, then you'll get great results.
Absolutely.
Jinx.
Mic drop.
I did want
no.
I did want to briefly talk about gym anxiety, because obviously there's a lot of people out there, myself included, I'll be open and honest, who look at the idea of going to a gym and go, no, people are going to laugh at me. Because, I put it off for ages, including getting like a personal trainer. I literally put it off because I was so embarrassed and paranoid I was going to be the laughing stock of the staff room. Have you had to help people and dealt with this sort of thing before to try and motivate?
We've spoken about this several times on our podcast, and we still get gym anxiety. We've been working in the industry for years. Like, as soon as I go to a new gym, I'm stood there looking around going, I have no idea where anything is, how it works, who's that person, why is everyone looking at me? What am I doing? Like, I don't feel comfortable. So, but it's so easy to feel that way, but it's also so easy to sort of flip that on its head. And what did you say earlier? Like, use that anxiety for turn it into excitement.
Easier said than done.
Of course it is.
But what I say to my clients as well is like, do you just want to continue to feel anxious about going to the gym? Because if you continue not to go because of that, you will continue to not feel anxious, because you're not getting any better. You're not giving yourself the chance to practice. And yes, it is outside your comfort zone. That's why it's called a comfort zone. It's not comfortable to not be in it. But sometimes you have to just be brave and step outside your comfort zone. And you keep going back, you are going to get better. If you keep practicing, you will feel more confident. Your form will get better. Most of that gym anxiety comes from people feeling like people are laughing at them because they look silly, they're doing something wrong, they don't know how the machine works. So as we say, maybe try and get some help. Speak to the personal trainers that work at the gym. They're not as scary as they look.
Essentially, they're there to help you.
It's their job, literally.
That is why they're there. They're all there to help you in some way or another. And I think kind of going back to that social media aspect, I think the way that it's being approached now online, used to see, I think this is where a lot of the anxiety comes from, because people would see videos of people filming other people in the gym and being like, oh, look what they're doing, like they look like an idiot. Now, I don't know if you two, like, again, mentioned this on the podcast we filmed this week, which was out tonight actually. Joey Swole he's a massive guy on TikTok, but people sent him videos because and he'll berate people who film others in the gym and take the mick out of them. He'll go in on them saying, how dare you? Like, how dare you? That it's not your place to tell someone who's just trying to train and get, and work out and better themselves that they're doing something wrong, or they look like an idiot, or that they're, and I think he's grown so much positivity in that space, which was previously quite a negative space. That I think it's doing wonders in terms of the social media side of things.
I think people just need to understand and remember that every single person starts somewhere. Everyone that you are looking at in the gym thinking that person's probably laughing at me because they clearly know what they're doing.
Again,
they started in the place you are.
I mention him again. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson used to be
a beginner.
He stepped in the gym for the first time once. I mean, he was probably 3 or something like that, but still, he did. Like he had a first gym session where he didn't know where anything was or what he was doing.
We all have.
It's crazy.
But we've gone back again and again. And again, we've gone through those embarrassing times where I said on the podcast yesterday, when I first started going to the gym, I had like my YouTube videos at the ready, and I was like, right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. Today's the day. And I'd walk in, I'd go, nope, and turn back out again. Or I'd go in and I'd be like, right, I'll just walk on the treadmill and maybe tomorrow I'll try the weights. And that honestly went on for months. I just couldn't get myself to do it. And then when I finally did, this man came over to me and started telling me that I was doing it wrong. And he actually was probably just trying to help. But obviously at the time, it's humiliating. You think, I knew I shouldn't have tried. I knew this was going to happen. I'm not going again. But I did go again. And you get better. It's all about knowledge. Watch videos, maybe get a coach who can give you feedback. And
I think if I could give maybe 2 or 3 bits of advice for gym anxiety itself, number one would be going with a plan.
Yeah.
So whether that's a workout plan or just an idea of what you're going to do, it makes things a little bit easier to manage because you can just go in, get it done, get out.
You're not sort of looking around like, oh, what next?
If you can do that, fantastic. Train with someone or in a group, because you're not then the key focus. If you feel that everyone's looking at you, there's more than just you there then. So you feel a little bit more comfortable in a group. You're not gonna, if you've got a friend, take them to the gym or join a group exercise class or whatever you want to do in that regards. But group exercise, training with a partner, it helps a lot. And number 3 would be just ask for advice, ask for help. People like all the time. I'll be at the gym and people will come up to the desk where I'm working and they'll say, hey, I'm really not sure what this exercise is. Could you help me? Yeah. I know for them it's taken
me a few months ago.
I know for them it's taken them a lot of guts to come over and ask for help. But they've done it, and then I've shown them how to do things, and then a week later I'll see them doing it themselves, and I'm like, all right, like you're doing it better than I am. Didn't have to take that on too well, But they're probably my 3 bits of advice. So, go in with a plan, train with someone, and just ask for help.
Agreed.
I feel like there's a lot of ways of doing things now as well. There used to be like cardio, treadmills, weights, dumbbells, maybe deadlifts and stuff. And now you've got resistance training, you've got strength training, you've got pushing and pulling, you've got all these absolutely mental ass like things going now. Like you say about for people that have, well, you know what I mean. Like
it's like it's all the gym jargon. Like you get bogged down in it, don't you?
Another reason why I think people are too afraid to even start, because where do I start? Like there is just all this going on. What the hell does it mean? Where do I start? It's just too much. So yeah.
I mean, for like people that are like starting out, and it's like, well, I've heard about this resistance training, like what, but I want to slim down, but I don't want to, but I want to do this, but I want to have it this way, but then I want that happening as well. Like there's so much, I think there's loads of that now, where it used to be like, there's your cardio, treadmill over there, bike over there, rower, you're good. And then your weights over there. See you later.
And essentially, really nothing's changed since then. They've just added a few little bits that it's still the same. Like it's still the same as it always is. The principle of losing weight, gaining muscle, it's all still exactly the same. Nothing's changed over the last, 100 years, 200 years, however long, like people have been training,
And that's the simple part, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it really is. But I guess it's knowing your way around the bullshit. it's the sort of the advice. Knowing where you where things are and how things work and
what's going to complement your goals, I think, as well. I think, first of all, before you even try and dive in, think about what is it you actually want to achieve. Again, back to your reason why, not what that person's doing or that person said you should do. What do you want to achieve? Do you want to lose weight? Are you trying to build muscle? Do you just want to have a little bit of a healthier routine? Like, what is it? And then try and figure it out from there, either on your own by doing some research on, okay, I've got this goal, so what's the best way to get to that goal? Or obviously get some help from a PT or a coach or whatever.
And on that note, with the help, asking for help, I don't know any fitness professional, if someone asked them for just some simple advice, I don't know anyone who wouldn't just be like, yeah, like fine, I help.
We can't wait. If someone in the gym is like, sometimes I see people in the gym and I really want to go over and help, but I obviously don't want to cross the line, so I don't. But there has been some circumstances where I've been waiting to get on a bit of equipment and the girl's been using it and she's like, I've only just started doing this, but I'm not really feeling it in the right place. Do you do this? Do you think I'm doing it right? I'm like, well, actually, it's my job. Do you want me to help? So then I can give advice then and there in person, and they'll try it the way I've said, and it's
free.
God,
it's like, why wouldn't we help them for free?
Of course, yeah.
And I mean, I think we'd both. I get DMs occasionally from people saying like, hey, like I'm not really sure what to do. What to eat. At this sort of, for my lunches, or I'm really not sure what to have in and around my training. How many grams of carbs should I have and things like that. Like, all this information is freely available to find online, but why would I then send them to somewhere where they could get misinformed, by searching through something on Google, and they get some random bloke who's, veins are popping out his ears, and he's going, oh yeah, you've got to take this supplement and drink this special tea, and you'll shit your muscles out, and like, well, I just give them the advice that the facts there and then, it's the best way to do it.
But also as well, a lot of women that I speak to have just Googled it or gone onto MyFitnessPal, the app we all use, which is amazing to track your food. But it is just a generated number. They'll just say, I want to lose weight, and it will just generate a number. And it's normally way too low. It will be like 1,000 calories. And they're like, well, I just can't stick to it. And I'm like, no wonder, that's not enough food for you. So it can be really useful having someone to actually understand a bit more about you, your lifestyle, and how that plays into the amount of calories you should be eating a day. I mean, we're making it sound really complicated. There is quite a lot to it. And that's why if you can get help, it's obviously better. But we'd
prefer you asked, than just
much.
try and go it alone, because there's, as you said, Tom, that there's so much out there that's so confusing. Where do you even start? So the best place would be ask someone who you think would be able to help you, who seems genuine, seems like they
and I think if when you're just starting out as well, you can start out by actually getting the right information and not wasting months and months or even years like we probably did back in the day. I know we all make mistakes and we all try things that don't work, but if there's so much out there now, then you can get the help. So may as well start right than waste your time doing it the wrong ways and then, not really getting to where you want to get to.
Absolutely. I think nutrition is the one part of it as well that just confuses the living shit out of me. When someone's like, you need so many grams of protein, your macros, and all these other words I don't understand, and I'm just like, or could have McDonald's. I don't know.
Because it's free. It's there available, isn't it? And it's so easy to get. It's so much easier. And I mean, I don't know, like, if you guys, it'd be interesting to ask you two actually. When they introduce calories onto menus in restaurants and stuff, like, did you have a sort of opinion on that? Was that a concern of yours? Did you think anything of it, or
paid no attention at all? If I want to eat something, I'm going to fucking eat it.
Yeah. And I think that's the way the majority of the nation thought. They're like, it doesn't affect me at all. The only people that really actually cared about it were the people who are regularly training in the gym and people who have some sort of eating conditions and stuff like that. They were probably the only people who really sort of thought, oh, this is either really good or this is really bad. The vast majority of the public, I don't think noticed, really. Like, I don't think noticed. Like, if you want a big burger that's 2,500 calories, you're going to eat a big burger that's 2,500 calories.
I think we all prefer to be blissfully unaware sometimes, but that's obviously why they've done it, isn't it? But then you are right. I don't want to go into detail about this, obviously, but people who do have eating disorders or have recently recovered, or that is quite triggering for them.
Of course,
if they've finally got to a point where they can go and eat out at a restaurant and not think about what they're consuming, to then have it put in your face, it's actually not very productive for them at all. But I think different people took it in a different way. But it's interesting. But like you say, it is really confusing. Calories, macros, to where even to start with it. It's hard, but it is that's kind of the simple fact. If you want to lose, let's just take losing weight, for example, or gaining muscle, nutrition is a massive part of it. So it's useful to understand.
They say, I think there's a saying, it's like losing weight is about 70 to 80% in the kitchen.
Yes.
Which is so depressing, because like I'm trying to lose weight now and I'm such a foodie. I love food so much, but it doesn't have to be boring. Like, we make such lovely food all the time. It's just, I guess you get to the point where you know kind of where to look and what to look at, and there are a lot of resources out there that can help. You know, we have some that we use that we'll get decent recipes that we know that we can enjoy and actually taste good. It doesn't have to be chicken, broccoli and rice like every single day for every single meal, or fish and a rice cake. You know, it doesn't have to be that. They got it. I've mentioned that on the podcast before, and Lucy didn't know what the fish and the rice cake guy was, and I had to show her
because
afterwards.
I've seen every meme in the world like you have. Like, it's like you spent your whole childhood watching memes.
Yeah. And most of my 20s as well.
Well, I was a lot younger then, so.
Oh, make it sound weird.
Yeah, it's not that big of an age gap. Yeah, it's I think you just have to, like, I think people shy away from even starting as well, because they just think it does have to just be chicken and rice and you can't ever have anything you enjoy. But that's another really big part of my coaching, is because I am a huge foodie, so I'm never going to ask my clients to do something that I wouldn't do myself. But it's just about understanding that potentially some things we need to have a little bit more in moderation, but a balanced diet is honestly the key. Obviously, if you have a very specific goal, you know, it's fat loss, or you're working towards something in particular, a few sacrifices will need to be made now and then, you know, maybe cutting back alcohol, maybe not going out as much, maybe not having as many takeaways, but it doesn't mean you can't ever have them ever again. You absolutely can. Just need to be a bit more sensible about it and just think ahead. I think, you know, it's planning and it's prepping. Everyone has very busy lives, and we pick up the most convenient, quick thing that we can. And I get that. But if you can plan ahead, these are the meals that I'm having, or even prep them ahead of time, they're already ready there, and you don't have to think about it. And you've done the work for yourself. You've made it easier for yourself, essentially.
Yeah. So it's great. Cool. No, good. We love it. But
sorry, I feel like we're like preaching. Like, can you tell we're quite passionate?
No, it's great. It's what we like. People, it's at least not like, yeah, well, I did this because of that. Do you know what I mean? And people are like, well, I'm turning this shit off. I'm not listening to this anymore. No, it's great. This is why we had you guys on here, because we know how passionate you are about what you do. But obviously, recently you began a podcast called That Gym Couple. So, you know, with the juicy bits is what we're all here for. Where did the idea come from to start this?
Oh, well, it's not that exciting, is it? We were literally sat in a park. And
the same park that Tom and I walked around when the Treachers kind of started, actually.
Oh, no way, Rip Pittville.
Yeah.
No, we
nice.
weren't in Pittville.
Yeah, we were.
No, we weren't. We were in Imperial Garden, opposite.
A different park to
walk
around.
It's not some magic park where ideas come, but no, we were just. I'm really into podcasts. I love them, and obviously us being in the same industry, I always thought, you know, how lovely would it be if we could work together one day in some capacity. And yeah, I don't know, we were just sat thinking, how could we potentially put our passions together? And the podcast is what came to light. Because I don't think we're quite at a point where we're going to dive in and do coaching together. Maybe one day.
Well, we are.
Well, we are, but not for like the same umbrella.
Yeah, we've got like a project that we're running at the moment, which is like for a photo shoot where we are working together. So if anyone is interested in that as well, little plug for that one.
Yes.
I got a question.
You know, feel free to hit us up. But yeah, I think it was a case of it took us a little while before we were like, are we doing this?
I ordered the mics like the next day. So I was like.
I think we spoke about it for a little bit, and we were like, "Are we going to do this? Are we going to do this? Yeah, let's do it." And then,
I think we sort of had a bit of imposter syndrome at first. We thought it would be a really lovely thing to do, and then we were like, who are we kidding? Like, no one gives a shit what we have to say. Like this, why would we do this? This is silly. Or maybe that was just me, because that's just I'm just like that. I was like, no, this is embarrassing.
That's why it's hosted by Lucy and starring Callum.
Yeah. No, and then I was just like, do you know what? Screw it. Let's do it. Ordered the mics, ordered the stands. We got the cameras. It's clearly not the most professional setup, as you can see. But yeah, we just sort of decided to go for it.
Yeah.
And we're just enjoying it. Like, even if it goes nowhere, if we only have a couple of listeners, if we help a couple of people, then we're happy.
I mean, every week I get my mum messaging me being like, oh, I really like the podcast this week.
Although she always
you
has
should talk
criticism.
It's always like, maybe you should talk about this. And I'm like, oh,
maybe you should waffle less.
Yeah. We've died down the waffling on our podcast a little bit, because we
probably doing it now, to be honest, aren't we?
We can waffle on.
Sorry.
No, we love it. We love waffle. That's what we're here for. We want the waffles.
Yeah, I do love a waffle.
Yeah.
I mean, but we probably should touch on this right at the beginning, to be honest with you. I know you made a whole episode about it. How did you guys actually meet?
Oh God. Do you want the full, like,
go full shebang, go straight?
No,
really. It's not. It's just we
take a guess. Take a wild guess where we might have met.
Let me see. It won't be by the river.
We spend 90% of our time.
So it won't be in the pub. Maybe in Stoke. No, I'm joking.
Oh God.
No.
Throwback. Sorry, uni days. Apologies, Cal.
I've heard all the great stories.
Like, Vietnam flashbacks then.
But I'm going to guess it was in the gym by any chance.
Yes, it was. Yeah. So I moved to Cheltenham last August with my ex-boyfriend, and joined Everlast, where Callum works, and we were just always there at the same time. So we just would be like, the conversation would literally be like, hey, how are you?
What are you training today?
How's your training going?
Cool.
And then we just wouldn't speak. Like, we were literally just gym buddies. Like, we would speak, and that was it. And then we were friends. Like, we were gym friends for about a year, and then the relationship I was in, we ended. You were then single, and that was that, really. Callum was like, wait, no, we need to tell the story about, okay, so the first time we ever
I don't know where this is going, by the way.
Wait, no, the first time we ever spoke, okay, so Callum was deadlifting in the gym.
Oh
yeah. He was deadlifting quite a heavy weight.
I was filming my session as well, so
I'm actually in the background.
In the background, I could just see Lucy just watching,
just amazed,
just watching.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, okay.
No, it wasn't like that.
Okay.
It wasn't like that.
I see.
I had a boyfriend at the time. I genuinely was just like, shit, he is not going to lift that, surely. And then he did, obviously. So he was lifting it, and he had these headphones on, and on every rep, the headphones were falling further and further off his head. And I was like, they're going to roll under the bar and they're going to smash. Do I go over? Is that weird? I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. So they came off eventually.
Yeah.
And then I think I just walked past, didn't I?
She walked over and she was like, that was really impressive.
Really embarrassing.
Oh.
No, yeah. It was pretty impressive. So that was that. And then
it was quite impressive, to be fair.
Yeah. Then that was our first conversation. And then we just were friends from there.
Yeah.
And then, we were both single at the same time, and we did a training session together, and
the rest is history. Yeah.
Inseparable ever since. So yeah.
That's amazing. Again, like just meant to be sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The stars align, the planets are all that sort of bullshit.
And also, I did move 3 doors down, so that kind of.
Oh yeah, that did help. Like, she moved because she left Cheltenham after her breakup, and
only for like 3 weeks.
For like 3 weeks, and then she was moving back, and we were just chatting at this point. Hadn't even considered the relationship side of things.
No.
And I was like, oh, so she was like, oh, I've got a house viewing. And I was like, oh, whereabouts is that? She said the street. And I was like, that's my street.
I was like, perfect. Give me the.
Yes, I know.
Sign on the
Impressive.
300 meters down the road. Yeah.
I actually probably could if I stuck my head out the window.
We've done it before. We've done it
before.
You've looked out your kitchen window. I looked out mine, and we could see each other.
That's insane.
I know, but it's perfect because we can spend as much time together as we want, and then when we're sick of each other, he goes, but it's only down the road. So
he goes.
He goes. I like that.
Yeah.
But Lucy, this is my flat. Get out.
Here's my keys. See you later.
No.
Yeah.
Headphone came out.
Sorry.
So I don't apologise. It's all good.
Now, the one
But-
thing.
Yeah, go on, Jamie. Go
I
on.
was gonna say,
Go
the
on.
one thing I need to know, and no doubt people listening to the show want to know. We all know that Callum is an absolute genius with his teachings. Lucy, is he this much of a genius in real life?
Not sure I would say genius.
It's not
Might
what
be
you
a
normally say.
stretch. He is very knowledgeable though about very useless things. But it's very interesting to be around. Like sometimes he will just, and don't get me started on the Roman Empire, because he does know a lot about the Roman Empire and he does bring it up a lot. Before it became a TikTok thing, we would just be driving on the road and he'd be like, "Did you know that this road?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." Like he just has these weird facts in his head and he'll be like, "Did you know that that was built by this person back in the 19..." It's just like weird facts, but very interesting. But then he makes me feel quite stupid.
That's
did I
on you.
say?
That's not on me.
Should we tell them what I said last night?
Oh yeah. So
Yeah, I'm smart in the right areas. I'm just going to put that out there. Where I need the
I
things I
don't know.
need to know, I know.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to even like.
You screenshotted it.
I did screenshots.
So
of
we
them.
so we
Of
were
course
on
you did.
we were looking on we were just scrolling. He was scrolling on TikTok last night before bed, and I was just like watching. And the thing was, which fish best describes your boyfriend?
You know, one of those like stupid like things where you go
TikTok
through
is
and it's
weird.
like, you know.
Yeah.
And this came out. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. There you go.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So I went, "Oh, a catfish," and he was like, "Yeah." And then I said, "Wait, I didn't know catfishes actually had a cat face."
Oh, Lucy.
I don't know why I just told that story, but
So we
all right.
compliment we compliment each other quite well in that case, don't we?
yeah. I push you to be better in certain areas, and you give me useless knowledge that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he is actually very smart. He's much smarter than I first thought when I first met you, which is great.
It's a backwards compliment if ever I've heard one. That is.
Yeah.
No, he's got a lot under the layers, you know. There's a lot going on.
I'm
there.
like Shrek.
Yeah, you are. You've got layers. Yeah.
But have you heard the things that he comes out with for our show? I'm just intrigued if you've heard these things. And
Yeah, I have heard some of them. Sometimes you film
Sometimes
them
I
here.
film them here, so like Lucy will be in the other room, just probably going, "What the fuck is he saying?"
Yeah, like to be honest, I'm still on the is cereal soup one. Like I can't quite get that out of my head.
see,
I don't get it. Like what?
that'll always be a top tier treat for me. That will. Oh, God.
Yeah.
But going back to your podcast, do you have like an end goal with it? Is there a plan in place, or is it just we're going to release these every week or so and just see where it goes?
I think I think there was
so.
I think there was no real plan. It was just sort of this could be something fun to do for us. Let's do it. You know, if it ever goes anywhere, fantastic. I mean,
I think one of the main reasons we also started it was because, not the main reason, but obviously we are both, I'm self-employed. You would eventually like to be fully self-employed. And it would be great if we could show a bit more about our personalities, not just on social media, because obviously social media just shows the highlights. Obviously I show a lot of my life on social media and try to show all the parts, but you can never really fully know a person just through Instagram. And I know a lot of people do vlogging and have YouTube channels, but in all honesty, I don't really have time to vlog, and my life is pretty much the same every day, so it'd be very boring. So I thought a podcast, we might be able to get a bit more of our personalities across, and maybe that would make people interested in our coaching, or if we do work together at some point,
or if we're able to help people in some other way that possibly we couldn't
or
before.
build like a community.
Yeah.
That's the main goal. It's and I think with a lot of things that have happened in my life in the last 3 to 4 years have been very unexpected. You know, I've just been like, shall I just start this and see what happens? And a lot of great things have happened because of that I never expected. So I think the same with this. We were just like, if nothing happens, fine. If it's just because we enjoy it, fine. If something does happen and we end up being able to do it a bit more regularly, that would be really fun too. So yeah, who knows, really?
No, I'm excited for you. I really am excited for you. It's great.
Thank you.
Just persevere. It's the best thing you can do is just persevere. A lot of people start shows and then they end within 4 or 5 episodes. So you're already beating a lot of people.
Do you know what it is? Like Lucy stays away from a lot of this sort of stuff, but I get really bogged down into like the analytics. And I love numbers and I love the stats and stuff. So, you know, every time we post an episode, I'm like, oh, we've had this many downloads. Oh, it's so exciting. And then, but before you know, you kind of like, oh, well, downloads aren't as busy as people don't like this one. But you don't think like actually people are busy. They've got their own lives, and
it's just been Christmas.
It's just been Christmas. We released an episode after like the week after Christmas, and
we were ill for a couple of weeks.
We were ill for a week, and it was like, you know, things do dive when people are busy and they don't get a chance to listen to it. But then I've noticed actually then a few weeks later, like suddenly the episodes that they have missed, they've caught up on, and you can really kind of get down in the dumps over it. But
that's why I don't look at it. I let you deal with that. Yeah.
But then I also love it at the same time. And I'm like, oh, it's like a little, you know, it's like your crack, isn't it? You're like, I want to watch it.
Trying to get to 1,000, aren't we?
Raise those numbers.
Yes.
No, but I also think that you do, like, you have to remember and have a bit of perspective sometimes that the big podcasts that we all listen to now, at one point, were just, I don't know, like I say, like Diary of a CEO, for example. Like, I love that podcast, but once upon a time, it was just him in his bedroom chatting random shit that no one was watching.
It's really funny if you go back to, you know, watch any of your favorite podcasts and see how they started and the equipment they had and
how like dodgy and like like just randomly put together.
You know, we're not pros in any sense of the word. We've been doing it. I think we've just released our 8th episode tonight, and even in that time, I mean, that's 8 weeks worth of recording that we've actually done, come so far since we
had an idea and we've done 8 episodes of it. Like, it's amazing. And it's the same thing with the gym. Like we said, everyone's got to start somewhere. Same with anything you do in life, starting your own business, starting a podcast. Like, no one started as an expert. And like you said, if you go back and listen, they were awful for some people's first episodes, but you don't ever speak about them.
Obviously,
you speak about them when they're big.
Obviously not you guys. You guys have been great.
Yeah.
All the time.
No, they're not always rubbish. It's just...
Oh, I don't know. If you listen to the first thing we ever recorded.
Some of it's dreadful. But yeah, everyone's got to start somewhere, haven't they? I mean, we're 5, this is our 5th year. So it's just...
I did ask you, didn't I, how long have they been doing it for? He couldn't remember exactly how long.
It's that long ago.
That's
2019
amazing.
we started, yeah.
Wow.
So
2 years for this show, but we did some other stuff prior. So yeah.
It's a crazy old ride. But yeah, perseverance is key. That's all I can say.
Do you still enjoy it as much as you did when you first started?
Yes. Fucking love it.
And that's the important thing, because if you don't love doing it, you're not going to have the passion behind to put the work in or anything like that. So, and at the end of the day, like I know you were saying about the numbers and stuff like that, even if you aren't getting the numbers, at the end of the day, you get to sit down with someone you fucking love, chatting and having a great time, and it makes memories.
I think that's the other thing. It's brought us closer as well. As much as sometimes it is super stressful, you know, we've had a really busy day. You're tired. You're hungry. You're going. Oh, last thing I want to do is sit here and talk to you for 2 hours. And but actually, but that's the point, isn't it? And then you start talking. You're like.
And then an hour goes by, and we're like, "Oh, we've been talking too long."
We've barely even said hello to each other. You know, we barely even actually got into the nitty gritty. We're just chatting and chatting and chatting. So,
but also it'd be so easy to just say, "Oh, should we just not tonight? Should we not bother? Let's just put something on TV and relax." You have to be a little bit disciplined with it. We have to be like, right now, Tuesday we are recording, Thursday it goes up. Otherwise, it just won't happen.
Don't give ourselves long to edit in between, but
no.
Yeah,
we're so good.
2 days edited, fair play.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was doing it myself, but now it's January. I've given you that job.
Yeah, so I have that. That's why the quality of the editing's probably gone drastically downhill.
Sure, it hasn't.
Yeah.
I just used at the beginning, I was like, I need to watch it with a fine-tooth comb. I need to be happy with everything I've said. And now I'm getting a bit more relaxed, and I'm like, yeah, just edit it. It's fine. I don't mind.
Yeah.
So
hopefully
that's a good thing.
Leaving all the yeah. It's just, I think that's it. It can be time consuming. It can be you cannot be motivated to do it. But again, it links back to the gym. It's the discipline that actually makes the results. It's not the motivation. It's turning up every single week and doing it and putting in the work.
Even when you're not seeing the results.
Even when you're not seeing the results. You know, sometimes going back to the analytics, sometimes you'll see something you post and it's got, you know, within the first day, you might have like one download or something, and you're going, that one person has actually listened. You know, that one person has tuned in, and even if you're just doing it for that one person every week, it's still one person who's appreciating the content. It's
probably just me.
Yeah, it's just me listening back. Has this uploaded correctly?
No, you're absolutely right though, and I think what you guys are doing, whether it be with the podcast or with your online coaching or with your in-gym personal training, it's so important because you're helping people. Like, people might have those gym anxieties I was talking about earlier. They could listen to your podcast and you go, do you know what? I think these people are laughing at me. They're just people. Yeah. I'm not motivated. Even they have days they're not motivated. And I think it makes it more humanizes that area, because I will happily admit I'm a 37-year-old man and I'm fucking terrified of that place. When I go to the gym, I go like 4:30 in the morning when there's no one there. And, you know, that's when I need to work on myself. But I know, I can guarantee I'm not the only one in the world.
Yeah, but at the same time, like if that's you know, you've also, whether you're going at 4:30 in the morning or 6 o'clock, you know, in the evening peak time, you're making that decision to go, and that's the most important thing. You are making that decision to go, and you're turning up when it counts.
Arguably at the hardest time ever.
Yeah, who wants to train at that time, mate?
Jeez, no way would we be up at that time.
I used to go before work. Well, I can't afford it at the minute, but yeah, when I used to go before work. So,
yeah, that's hard work.
Anything to not have people stare at me.
But I mean,
we'll get there. Keep going.
Yeah, go on, Jay. You got this.
Okay,
you got this. Yeah.
But I mean, have you ever really been to a gym if you don't complain about the fact that you can't walk or can't sit down, or my leg hurts, or my shoulders? I just can't today. I can't lift my arms. It's
that sounds like us every single day.
That's how you go to the gym every single day.
I'm in like pure agony.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not getting easier.
I think I sat down to start training earlier today, and first exercise, I was like, this feels really heavy. Like, this is, my shoulders are hurting, my knees hurting. It's not even an exercise I use my legs for, but my knees are hurting. And someone walked past and that I know, and they were like, oh, what are you training today? And I was like, I don't really know. Like, I'm in absolute bits. And they were like, oh, what doesn't hurt. They were like, what did you train yesterday? I was like, I had a rest day. I didn't train anything. My body's just decided, nah, today you're just going to hurt. So just deal with it.
And we spend a fortune on massages and osteopaths and chiropractors because our bodies just give up. Because you actually are pushing your body a lot. You're putting a lot of stress on your body. Obviously, it is really good for you, obviously. But like the amount...
There's us going like, yeah, get in the gym. It's great. Your body doesn't work afterwards.
You're going to really hurt yourself. No, but like, you know, if you've been doing it for years and you get like aches and pains and your joints do start hurting a little bit. It's why it's really important to take your rest days and to warm up and cool down.
Yeah.
That's the coach in me. But yeah.
You don't have to take it to the extremes that we do to get the benefits.
I mean, we're not that extreme. We just push ourselves.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's especially when you're starting out though, if you're starting the gym for the first time, be prepared to be sore and literally, you know, like sit down and you're like, oh god, and it's absolutely agony. Like I have some days like
those
now,
those feelings will go. Like it's
the body getting used
to
the
DOMS,
it.
The delayed onset muscle soreness does disappear the more you train.
Well, it doesn't disappear. I'm quite sore today actually.
The more you train those body parts, the less
it does get easier. Yeah, but it's quite a nice feeling, really. You feel like
you learn to love it.
Yeah,
you feel like you've actually worked out then.
Yeah, I think we're just used to it now, though, aren't we?
Yeah.
So you mentioned not long ago you guys were working together on the photo shoot package.
Yes.
What is it? Tell us all about it. What are you offering?
What are we offering?
Yeah,
what are we doing?
Okay, yeah. So basically, we wanted to work together, and we thought two heads are better than one. And instead of sort of just like bringing Callum into my online coaching, we thought, why don't we do something a little bit separate and take on a limited number of clients? So probably about 10 people we're looking for, who basically just want to go for it and get some amazing results. And as I've said, my online coaching is very centered around like lifestyle, getting great results, yes, but sustainable, long-lasting results. This is more about working towards a very specific goal, which is to do a photo shoot at the end of it. And it's so good to have a goal like a photo shoot to work towards. It's not quite as extreme as, stepping on stage and competing. Like, that's not what we're saying. But a photo shoot, you're going to want to feel your best for a photo shoot. You're getting your kit off, you're wearing clothes, you want to feel confident and have these photos forever to look back on, be so proud of what you achieved. So yeah, that's what we're trying to do over the next kind of we want to get all the people in, and then for the next kind of 18 weeks, just get your head down and get you some amazing results, and then take you to a photo shoot that we will organize. We'll book the photographer, put on the whole day. And then, they'll have photos to take away with them. And as I said, I did it with my clients last April, and it was absolutely amazing. They loved it. And
she got them a cake at the end.
Yeah, got a cake. They had goodie bags with little Prosecco in and just lovely things for them to take home. And then, that's kind of what we want to do. And I think if we could do it together, then they get, we bring different things to the table. So working together, they get two of us.
Yeah, Lucy brings all that kind, compassion.
Yeah.
And I'm like the drill instructor, I guess.
That's what you need. A bit of both.
Yeah.
It's just right.
Good cop,
really.
bad cop,
Yeah.
I didn't eat, I didn't eat strictly on plan this week. Lucy's like, it's okay, you'll get better next week. It's not okay.
Fuck did you just
Put down the fork?
Like a good cop, bad cop situation.
Get that and give me 20.
It's absolutely, as Lucy said, though, it's just a case of really pushing, 10 people to get the best out of their training and their goals they can, to the point where they get to take something away from it as well. They've got those photos to last a lifetime. Then, they can go and they can show their family and their friends or their kids and be like, hey, look, like I managed to do this. Look at me. Like I look sick.
Yeah.
Muscles popping out all over the place.
It'll be a proper photographer who will come and do the photos, and probably get my videographer as well will come down and do some videos. But also it's quite nice to have not an end date, but essentially an end date, because as I said before, losing body fat is really quite hard to do. So if you feel like, oh, I'm just going to be doing this all year, I'm never going to get there, you're going to want to give up quicker. But if no, I'm doing a photo shoot at the end of May, for example, I know that I can do this. It's only a few months. If I really, really focus, I can do this. And then I can move into, a maintenance phase or focus more on something else. But
or go on holiday. You've got summer holidays coming up straight after it. And I think that it gives people that goal that isn't just like, I need to get in shape for my holiday. There's more to it than that.
Yeah, it's a bit more riding on it.
Yeah.
So a bit more accountability. So it should be fun. I'm excited. Do you guys want to? Do you guys want to join? Do you want to get involved?
I mean, I need to get back.
Is this inspiring you?
Like you wouldn't believe. But then tomorrow I wake up and go, well, I've got work.
Maybe not.
Because I know what I'm like. I'm not going to lie to myself.
Well, the thought was there.
Absolutely, yeah. And we appreciate it's not for everyone. This sort of challenge. Not everyone wants that that kind of intense sort of end goal and thing. But for those who do, obviously, that's there's so much they can get from it, and the results are going to be insane.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I'm definitely one of those people that needs to be in with that person rather than doing it online, because I know what I'm like. So I'd be like sat here, say like this, be like, yeah, cool, absolutely sounds great. Right, well, I'll play a bit of PlayStation. I might listen to some music, and I might just go and go to bed because I can just do whatever. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather have that person there to be like, what the fuck are you doing? You need to be doing this, blah, blah. And I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm absolutely so yeah.
And the ideal would really be if you could do both. And at the moment, you do offer a little bit of both. But the only thing with it, because it'd be great to have the element of online coaching where you get, as I said, like nutrition, the weekly check-ins.
I think a lot of personal trainers now, the one-to-one personal trainers in gyms would offer that as a package now. So you would typically get, as you join the gym or as you join them, their, I guess, plans, you would get one-to-one sessions, and they'd give you a program and the nutrition plan and everything else as well. So you've got everything there, but obviously you've got that weekly, where we would do a weekly check-in where our clients log in online, go through like a sort of a form online, and they fill in all their information and how they're doing for the week and their sleep and weight and everything like that. I guess you would just have that sort of aspect in person with a personal trainer. Like,
I guess you could arguably say there is a little bit more accountability, because you've got to turn up for that session.
But you've also got to be there at the same gym that personal trainer is at.
For the coach, it's massively limiting to the area, whereas I have clients all around the world, which is amazing. I'd love to be able to do in person too, but it's just, I'd literally only be able to work with the people that were in Cheltenham who were close enough to that gym. It just, how small that becomes is crazy.
No, I understand. I totally understand it.
But you got to do what works for you. Whatever gets you there and makes you feel good is worth doing.
Tom and I used to train together back in COVID times.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
go up to the rugby club and run up and down the pitch. That was all we could do, really. Was it?
Yeah.
And then walk all the way back. It was a long hike.
Oh, that's brutal.
For about 3-4 hours.
It was great though. That was great. Yeah, lockdown was fantastic.
Yeah,
in that respect.
Yeah. The global pandemic, not so much.
Oh, God, it was wonderful. That was absolutely phenomenal.
No. Lucy's just sat there. You try and sell drinks when the bars are closed. It wasn't fantastic. Amazing. But before we start wrapping this up, if people are listening to this and they're on the fence either about starting their fitness journey in whatever shape or form that might be, what words of encouragement can you offer them? Because like we said, this is the time of year when people generally tend to make those changes. So what would you say to those people that are on the fence? Okay, me.
Well, I don't want to repeat myself, but I would say try and kind of connect with why is this important to you? Because I can't make you do it. No one can really make you do it. It's up to you. When you wake up in the morning, as you said, and you go, oh, I've got work in a bit, or I could just have a little extra hour in bed. I get it. I am not a morning person at all. I'm really not. If I didn't have the job I have, and I have the flexibility to go at 2 p.m. when I've fully woken up, I've done half of my day's work, I don't know when I would go. Honestly, I don't. So I get it. It's really, really difficult, but it has to come from you. You need to know why you're doing this. Why is it important that you do this? What is it you want to achieve? Do you just want to be healthier? Have you got kids and you want to set a good example? Do you want to live a longer life? Is it aesthetic? What is your reason? Because no one else is going to get you there. Only you. It's all in your head at that point. So if you wake up and you really don't want to do it, just say to yourself, no, but that I just said this is what I want to achieve, and I'm not going to get there if I don't do it. And if it means enough to you, you will do it. Whatever it is that you want to do, you will do it. That would be probably my biggest bit of advice.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree.
It's not very practical, but
it's perhaps like to kind of make that into a practical sense. Like what I probably suggest is sit down and write out your sort of your goals. Like it sounds goal setting in a sense of what do you want to achieve within this year. It doesn't even have to be. I say this in a general sense. It doesn't have to be fitness related at all. I think everyone needs to do that. And I'm not saying everyone should be setting their New Year's resolutions, because they don't last. I think what the statistics that we read out on the podcast this week were that I think after 3 months, 10%.
No, wasn't it by like the second Saturday of
the
February?
Second Saturday of February is like the fall off the wagon day, but I think it's after 3 months, only 10% of people think that their New Year's resolutions will last the year. So that's after 3 months, when most of them have dropped off already. Only 10% think that they'll last the rest of the year. So don't put the pressure on yourself being like, I'm going to do this by this time, or this year I'm going to do this. If you didn't do it last year, sit there and have a look at what went wrong last year. If you've got the same goals, if you wanted to lose weight, or you want to put muscle on, or put weight on, whatever the goals are, trying to think about what went wrong last year and what you can do this year to implement change and
what possible things that might challenge you this year.
Yeah.
That's what I've got my clients to do, is think, okay, let's make some realistic goals. Think ahead of time. What might come up that's going to make this hard for you to do? What are the challenges? Is it work? Is it time? Is it, what's going to come up that might make you give this all up? Okay, now let's think of solutions to that. So we're already preempting that it's going to get hard, because we know it is. Then let's deal with that. And I think, as we said in our podcast, one massive bit of advice is stop trying to be perfect. Perfection isn't what gets results, it's consistency. So if you're constantly trying to be perfect all the time, the one time you slip up or you don't do the thing you said you were going to do, you are just going to, you probably say, do you know what? I clearly can't do it. I knew I wouldn't be able to do it. So what's the point in trying? And then you give up. When actually it doesn't matter that you had one day that you missed or something didn't go to plan. Just get on it again.
No one's going to come over and, burst out of a bush and kick you onto the floor and say, you're out the club, you missed a day, you're not allowed back in.
Yeah.
If I was to say to, either of you, Tom, let's say you love going to the pub every Saturday night and all your friends are there, all your family are there and you love it. And you're telling me, oh, this year I'm going to stop drinking. Is that realistically going to happen if all your friends are always going to the pub every Saturday and that's where you like going and that's where you spend all your time? Probably not. Probably not. You'd like to think that you had the ability to be able to go and, or cut that out of your lifestyle if that's what you wanted to do. But it's realistically not like to happen. So maybe you could cut back. Maybe you shouldn't have as much. Start slower. Make realistic goals, and that will make long-lasting change.
Brilliant advice.
Beautiful.
Love it.
I think they were speechless then.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's perfect. And I think it is important for people to hear things like this because like you said, people put a lot of pressure on themselves to achieve things in the now, thick and fast. So to hear these things, I hope people listening to this take it on board and they act like this because it is very important. And I think, like I said, people need to be kinder to themselves.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. Mr. Stevens, any more questions for our wonderful guests?
I do. I have one more for both of you. What are your 2024 goals?
Oh, I actually, So I
just fitness.
Well, no, anything, absolutely anything.
So I've got 3 that I went through this week as part of my sort of yearly check-in with myself. One we've been speaking out. I mean, we live separately 300 meters down the road. One of them is to move in together. Progress to that point in our personal relationship and start that side of our lives together.
Nice.
If that comes with a dog as well. Look at that. And a ring.
I thought small steps. Is it small steps?
Yes, very small steps.
No, it doesn't rely on this situation, that advice.
Okay.
It comes and goes when she wants it to. So that was one of them, to progress in our personal relationship. And the second one was to progress in my online coaching. I wanted to, I've set myself a goal of a certain amount of clients by the end of the year. I mean, that might be achievable halfway through the year. That might be achievable in a month, 2 months, I don't know, but I've set myself that target by the end of the year, and frequent times it's worth obviously looking through and checking up on them, seeing if that will be manageable. And the last one,
lose weight,
is
said that really
like, lose weight, you fat shit, like
stay here.
I didn't mean that.
Put down the fork.
You're never gonna crush a watermelon like this. Come on.
No, I've overindulged over the Christmas period and before, and the months building up to it. So we've had a lot of social. No, that's why I said the months building up to it. It wasn't just Christmas. Thank you very much.
Relationship at the beginning of this year,
we've had holidays and we've done things, and we're
not perfect, people.
No, not at all. And so I've set myself that target of get back into shape, and that shape is whatever shape I feel comfortable in.
For a lot of people, they'd be like, what are you talking about? But it's what you feel comfortable in your own skin, isn't it?
Exactly. So they were my 3 goals.
That's awesome. What about you, Lucy?
Well,
Lucy's apparently is to get engaged.
No. This might actually shock you, but this is probably the first time since I started working for myself that I don't think I've sat. This sounds really contradictory to everything I've just said in this whole podcast, so I'm really sorry. But do you know what? This is really refreshing for me, but I actually don't think I've sat down and set myself really specific goals for this year. I probably will at some point, but for the past kind of 3 years that I've worked for myself, I've put an enormous amount of pressure on myself to be successful in whatever, that means something different to everyone. But I had this goal of like getting to a certain number of clients by a certain time, and I just was miserable all the time. Like I was crying all the time because I was just like, why am I not achieving this? Like, what's wrong with me? I'm rubbish at everything. And for the first time, and I think it has a lot to do with you, I just feel really content with what I've got and the way things are working. And the less pressure I put on myself, the more things seem to just naturally progress. And my coaching is really busy, which I couldn't be more grateful for. I'm really happy with where we're at. And I guess in terms of training, my personal goal with that right now is to build as much muscle as I possibly can over the next 10 to 12 weeks. So while everyone in the world is focusing on fat loss right now, I'm actually eating anything and everything that I can to build muscle.
We made some dinner last night together, and there was leftovers. Lucy ate mine and her lunch today.
Yeah.
I left it here and she ate both portions.
Yeah.
I'm kind of proud.
And to be fair,
thank you.
To be fair, she's well within her rights to, because it fits within her goals and stuff. But I was a little bit miffed. I don't have any lunch tomorrow.
I texted him today saying, "Oh, you forgot your lunch," and he was like, "So I just thought, oh, well, I'll just eat it because he won't have it." And then when I met you earlier, he was like, "Yeah, I'll have it for my lunch tomorrow." I was like, about that. Yeah, I ate it. Also, I've just realised we ate our lunch for tomorrow for dinner.
Yeah.
We made 4 portions and we just ate them.
Nah, we made 2 portions. That was not that much.
Yeah. Well, clearly we're eating too much. But no, I'm trying to get as strong as possible, build as much muscle, and then my sister's getting married in June, so I'll be cutting before that. And then I'm just going to enjoy the summer and whatever else life brings. Like, honestly, if I've learned anything this year, it's that life throws mad things at you, and you just got to take it in your stride and learn from it, as cliche as that sounds. So yeah, I'm just kind of excited to see what this year brings, to be honest.
Yeah.
Love it. Absolutely. Massive congratulations to your sister. I hope it's a grand old day.
Well, I'm maid of honor, so if I've got anything to do with it, I'll make sure it's a great day.
Love it.
No, thank you.
Before we let you guys out of here, any plugs, social medias, things you want people to go out there and check out?
Yeah, so obviously our podcast.
What's that called again?
Podcast channel. Is it a channel? Is it a thing? What is it? It's just that gym couple podcast. You can find us on mostly what we post on now is Spotify and YouTube. I have been trying to sort the Apple stuff out, but it's the bane of my life. Apparently, for some reason, it just doesn't work. So I'll be discussing with Jamie about that.
I was going to say I'll message you in a bit.
Yeah. And then on Instagram as well. So we do have an Instagram page for that. I've also made a Facebook one. Basically, everywhere you can find social
you
media.
Can possibly think of, yeah. And then, of course, also our personal.
Yeah.
My Instagram is at @LoveLucyFit, and yours is.
And mine is at Callum Treacher _coaching.
Yeah, and you can pretty much go from there to anything. Like the link in my bio would take you to my website where you can book a consultation call if you want to talk about coaching.
Photo shoot project we're doing as well is all on there, so you can both the podcasts, all everything.
Yeah,
absolutely everything.
But we probably spend most of our time on Instagram, so yeah, you can always find us there.
Wonderful. Absolutely incredible, guys. This has been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it?
What can we say?
Wow, thank you, guys.
No, it's been great. It's been absolutely fantastic. Like we said in the first interview of 2024. So
thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having us on.
Yeah, it's an honor. Thank you.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far, but we appreciate it. Thank you very, very much.
It's the first podcast I've ever been a guest on.